some into my young wrap it up maybe on more
youth manifesto.
We know that this election will be fought heavily on youth related stuff.
Absolutely.
And more demo manifesto about maybe in your time in go through but I think the dominating media discussion since Enra and Neoma me number one more promise say first year student at area public universities or more academic user fee will be paid for by a future NDC government. Not a lot of information to as far as we are concerned in the public domain to help shape conversations around it. But we understand
what information do you need?
Okay, beyond this target they are saying students saying in fact to start with what is even the need students saying they follow through from SHS to university here say was BBC eba those details are not in the funding where it will come from and all of that.
We wouldn't say Ghana for it. I just love Ghana. Especially the media in Ghana. When President Akufo-Addo said he was going to do free SHS.
Yes.
None of you asked him.
No, but these questions came up.
Obi. Say me come ask him about.
Yeah, me too.
I like the fact say the Ghanaian people, especially journalists, and them say the NDC is a more credible party until you hold us to higher standards and ask us the tough questions. Obi. Because we know that the media holds us to higher standards. To say President Akufo-Addo ni MPP. Mimi betena and can say we will cost, we are costing, we shall cost. Remember that was President Akufo-Addo's response. Thankfully, I've been part of the manifesto drafting committee. We've been working for 2 years. I haven't worked on education, but we've done exit meetings where we've seen, and I asked questions about this policy. Unim John Mahama you see obi a nipa you see asime see nipa John Mahama or nipa ho badaye, because you see that day at the meeting he was emphatic we will do it, because there was a lot of opposition at some level. Say hey, the MPP has mismanaged the economy, but we nanado as say economy niho or see we will do it. How much? Obi, before I even go into the how much, why do we need this? Again, the same argument we made, and for consistency's sake, Abra President Akufo-Addo say obey free SHS. You can say it is not a novel thing. As I say our constitution no more. The constitution says you must have free compulsory universal basic education. Then it says you must progressively make second cycle institute education free when there is access, and then proceeds to say that even tertiary must be made free as and when possible. It's in the constitution. So these are constitutional dictates. Now I listened to the last part of earlier conversations, and I think it's with someone who was Education Watch. Fantastic. Obi, when him say admission at ebi ni fee or the betua academic user fee. Now I got to your hostel and now hall. Now I feel na your best CC no ho ama no na or their course school. Now hostel no crapo ye na yako university. Who need sika for hostel your purchase your purchase. In fact your purchasing a purchase.
Yeah.
And say and you the school hall there.
You find your way out.
The Biaudi would Tibetu Quadie. Even if it take a month or 2 or 3 months, answer a favor to me arrange my old day. Obey to me a call. Nya obedi. Ho. I buy your university. A bay exams week no. Ye cry make us say Nyamia ye adum ye will be free capo. Ut me the games be ama usikasa.
Yeah.
Who free lecture there, who call lecture hawker na attract a show back pocket. Who say be in here emo. Hona midi emo over rice cooker. Me ye di shito e be gum na ya na boys be 10 na ye di wo. And see when it comes to feeding on campus, where to put your head. There are ways and means. There's papa to do on campus. But I want to me, se sanka admission letter no. Now you mau 14 days in most instances. 14 days to pay at least 70% of user fee no. Ebi ni fee. Ubeye denako. So when you be antia within 14 days now, you lose your admission. So even the opportunity to go in and do the papa to survive, you lose it.
Are there numbers to that? How many people fall through that? I think
no. And you see, you're not just going to look at just those who fall through. You have to do the Constitution says there should be no discrimination. Sure. So you have to look at. That's why we didn't say we are doing for all tertiary students. We said we are doing for all first-year university students.
Sure.
What's the total number of university students in first year? It's less than 300,000. It's less than 300,000. Let's even use 300,000. What's the average academic fee for first-year students? It's 2,000 cedis. Average. 2,000 cedis. And we got 600 million a year. Currently, how much are we spending on free SHS every year?
Billions. In the billions.
So this is a fraction of what we are spending on free SHS.
But SAS 300,000 would include the son of Sam George. You can pay the 2,000. Well, that was one of the criticisms I'm the born and say free SHS wholesale no doesn't make sense.
Absolutely.
In the other
so there is a policy initiative, and then you're now going to look at the blueprint for implementation, where people are going to look. You're going to look at first year. We're doing this for everybody. How many people get the opportunity to pay? And that's one of the things that we have considered. You create that opportunity, and if you even look at the way we introduced free SHS, it was progressively free. That's what we started with. You've got the most deprived people. Leap beneficiaries. So a child from that home, a leap beneficiary home, automatically qualifies. You've got where you call the deprived communities and deprived schools. I mean, because if you say Sam George can afford to pay 2,000, Sam George child will most likely be in a deprived community school. Do you understand me? So there are all of those. Again, we're not looking at it's public universities.
Yes,
it's public universities. Again, most of those who can either have their kids in private universities or outside the country. Yes, some go to the public universities as well.
In fact, many go to the public universities.
But again, the point is, Obi, if you look at the need, and we even decided to do a blanket thing for 300,000 students, and I look at 600 million. 600 million Ghana cedis would look like a lot of money, but let me just see. 600 million Ghana cedis divided by 16, that's $37.5 million a year. Just $37.5 million a year. His ICT budget at National Health Insurance, you're saying? That's one question.
Yeah, but it doesn't.
I mean, you see, it's priority. It's prioritization. No problem. You see, it's prioritization. I'm not saying health insurance budget now.
Yes.
Just ICT alone. And I know he knows why I've raised ICT. What did I say? ICT budget alone for health insurance, one institution, you're saying. But to let you understand, Tokrona is that parliament in China. I know
Tokro there now, okay, National Cathedral na.
National Cathedral. Cathedral.
No, sir, the location was for National Cathedral.
Tokro no that hole. Sa Tokro no yet saying. For that hole, we pay $54 million.
Yes. So, but saying no recurrent expenditure. What you are saying will be a recurrent expenditure. Me too.
I'm saying to you that if we can spend $54 million for a hole, because of one man's supposed promise to God, and we can find taxpayers' money to spend, and then we say that we should find taxpayers' money to take care of 300,000 of our next generation of leaders, to get at least that entry into the university, such that they can then continue their survival on the back of the student loan trust fund. As I said, do watch guy in the catcher. Most times, end of
of the year.
And your ma will come free now end of first year. We will loan fund about Uber to me the annoy will then second year at least make the payment for second year, and you know that at least your academic fee is given for. So at the end of the day, if you ask me, and I'm sure if you ask all Ghanaians, it be a MPP 4B, it be a Ibimu who have grown fat on the largesse of state and have forgotten what the needs of the ordinary Ghanaian are. Spending $37.5 million on 300,000 Ghanaian students. In fact, let me do that mathematics. 37.5 million divided by 300,000. A year, $125 will be and toll trainers.
The last time,
and that is money. That is money. That is money. $125 literally for a year for a Ghanaian student whose parents have worked, paid taxes, who himself is the future of this country.
Yes.
And MPP4 say, boy, I don't know to mama person obey say,
because the last time
MPP4 President Kufado buy restaurants now. Who could did one plate of food now? You will pay if not more than $125.
The last time another politician made a similar promise, Muka said the whimsical promise of a desperate politician. Why should Ghanaians not refer to you in the same stead?
Because we have costed.
But they also did.
Wait. They did not have a costing at the time. We described it as the whimsical whatever of a desperate politician. He didn't have a cost. He didn't have an.
But you've not costed anything.
Yes. Have you seen a free SHS implementation plan? 8 years of President Akufoado's government. Have you seen a free SHS implementation plan?
Has free SHS been implemented?
No. You don't implement such a national policy on an ad hoc basis. I'm asking you. You see, it's a simple question I'm asking you. That look, I'm telling you that we have an implementation document. Which after the president launches our manifesto and we go in, because you see I can't take the wind out from the sail of the manifesto launch, but after it's launched and by God's grace after we come into government and we hold our national policy dialogues on education and you see what our blueprint is on both free SHS and free year 1 tertiary, you would understand that this is not a whimsical thought. It's not about a desperate politician. This is something we've sat through, thought through, calculated. Obi, I as a Ghanaian, Chief, I as a Ghanaian would vote for a government that thinks that 300,000 young people in Ghana deserve their government for all that they do and their parents have done. Say, yeah, mom, $125 per. I would vote and support such a plan against one that decides that they are going to put that money under the bed of a minister, or one that agrees, or one that agrees. Say, what would be kwa koye tokro? Obi bisa me say, you know, I am for no bako, I for bako. Obi bisa me say, me sure say. Skakoko be a Nista site, no, because Oman be in the enemy say Galam said the party in the over and Galam said I cathedral because the almost 12 now Shane so 54 million. You know what we've spent on that hole alone would almost pay for 2 years, the first 2 years of Mahama's government.
Sam George, my final question to you now, na Doc Ebusa on the questions are opese Obusa no. Because they are misbehaving on social media, and I mean, they don't understand. But they can't understand what their brains cannot comprehend.
Okay, let him ask him. Sure. I think it's important to me address. You see, Obi, and to Sam George, like I say,
Sam George,
you will chrome her, okay? You will chrome her in a former president, okay? A catcher say. Over 20 billion now. 2 billion on free SHS. Today, you sit here and say you are going to do free tertiary. Now, wait. I know when you're 2 billion.
I'm saying 660 million.
No, but you still do free SHS and extend to private.
Now you are now saying
you
that
need even more than 2 billion.
You are even saying that, you see, 2 billion. You know the logic about what I'm saying. But I said you bring 600 million. But wait.
2 billion 600 million.
Wait. You see now, we'll see. Uber review.
Yeah.
Free SHS. Okay. Uber review free SHS
to make it better.
And some of the proposals are one kasanko for diaba. I say people are going to pay. Some people, because some people can afford it. Now we'll see. Oti how? I say Uber be make it first year for we say just because His Excellency Dr. Maham Baumia I make it promise say yenuamo disabled
PWD.
Yes, ebeko
tertiary free. It is also in the NDC manifesto.
No, all that I want to say is I want to say something. You see, Obia wo free SHS kra onjindi after the also na de buy also the also progressive the also constitution Obia implement also na de buy o yeguso argument near the ekoso osi afedie o 2 billion anya den ofa nye afedie o jampe obi abeye amankola na passe amasese ebi kura ko robotics we amoma ko ye den akwakoje award ayede aba ena me no ka say Brunel University ba ku bia o free SHS
amwani
ena me no ka say all is first class so say product of free SHS your former president such as Osenkola na do mu chiti enya za no kai ene obeye free with a can say tertiary. You see, me I'm very honest and I really want a fair balance. You see, unza me by say normal unza me politics the same way. I normally speak on obviously and nyoma me jidi say ebeye way me be kan insurance one for man ba mu kura nka me ye de menka o se me budget for ICTSA abuchira o kan nyina is based on digitalization. I'm being honest, digital unim fraud manual first near kosalai or NHIS office ye kosalai and a line away on your phone so obetimi aden etimi today we have e-pharmacy the bia co-payment okay co-payment yeah the e-pharmacy aba all hospitals are going to be linked to this e-pharmacy platform said there be a pharmacist nearby then you be man opportunity say wo obana so say drone bi ni ho upload your drone then egu sa e-pharmacy platform so because of property addressing system you betimi deliver drone cry then akọ ofie you betimi am akọ local community no then akọ drone look at where Ghana is going so as for digitalization and ways and yes, initial investment of a capital project they are expensive, but over time it comes down. And most of George, you know this. Me ba parliament, me said that health committee anyway. So it's time we believe that we have to internalize because at the end of the day, initial investment is not going to be the same as why are denied every year. So and see Mumian kind nyoma ebetimi di mpuntuo ayede abaya pomodene education mu me way. In fact, if you want a desperate politician, it is now that the NDC for the desperate.
Almost show signs of desperation.
Yes, they are showing signs of desperation.
Very well. No, that's a mafia kind insurance and common. Yes, I'm George. I think the whole argument has been said the NDC, as far as these promises are concerned, ever suffer from, some kind of a deficit of principle in terms of more position on free SHS then and what you are promising now.
Okay, we won't suffer anything. If anybody wants to say that we'll suffer, it is going to be in their mind. Now, I don't know. Say, I Papa Bagana for a year before Yasa. Like, Mintias here. Say, at the Papa Bagana for a year before ya. Say now, you the get fund a buy a bano. Woman say boy, and then universities you in a call you get fund projects and the mass I invest into me fire VAT. I buy the year VAT. Health insurance, it is leveraged on VAT. It's leveraged on VAT. But when we're bringing VAT, President Akufo-Addo said VAT at the body. Look, the MPP has always fought against every good thing. When Rawlings
when insurance
when Rawlings brought in health insurance,
boycotted Parliament.
Noted.
In 1998, when Rawlings piloted the health insurance policy in the Bunu region with the Catholic Health Services,
did he?
Yes. The media reports are there. The then ranking Adokufo criticized it in Parliament. When President Kufuor came, he rolled out a mutual health insurance scheme. You won't take that away from him. He rolled out a mutual health insurance scheme. But that health insurance scheme is not the national health insurance scheme we envisaged, and not the national health insurance scheme President Mills came to do. Under President Kufuor, if you had a health insurance in AMA, and you moved from AMA to Tema, you could not access healthcare using your card. It was a district mutual health insurance scheme. It was President Mills who came and made it a national health insurance scheme. So you see, because we understood the policy, for 8 years you couldn't implement it. In less than 4 years, Professor Mills made a national health insurance. That's why I told you that what you don't comprehend, your brain cannot comprehend, you can't understand. Free SHS. If you go and read the Constitution, it is clear that you must make, it says it must be accessible and then made free, progressively free. Accessibility is the first key. And that's why President Mahama started with he said, look, me was asking now, but me see dino, you see dino we are, then you can do a full-fledged free SHS, but I'll make it progressively free. That's why you had over 150,000 children, about is it 150,000 or so in 2015-2016. In fact, President Akufo-Addo commended President John Mahama for launching his progressive free SHS in 2016. UNESCO came and also credited President Mahama and commended him. Why? I'm not saying say President Mahama free SHS in his current state, but we've always maintained we started the progressive free, and President Akufo-Addo himself in March 2016 commended President John Mahama on it. And say the way back. Doc, I asked a simple question. Chief, I asked a simple question. You didn't answer.
Which one?
I never said here, and let's be very clear. Okay. I'm an IT professional. I make a living from IT. I never sat here and said, IT is a bad thing at health insurance.
Okay.
I asked you a simple question. I never
said
IT
budget
is bad.
Okay.
I simply said, how much is your IT budget for the year? Because I'm putting in context what our government, and you see, I can go to another institution, I can go to DVLA, I can go to SNIT, and let us look at what those individual, because I told you, I am chair of the NDC's Manifesto Committee on ICT. I've had a look at what our government is spending across the aisle to see what our spending on ICT is. Look, that's what I'm saying. Just take NHI's budget, and that's what I'm saying. It's public information. Put out what your budget for ICT is for 2024.
It's already on there.
So put it out. You are the CEO. I'm asking you. Okay. And if you put it out, let us compare that to 37.5 million and see which is more. I'm saying to you that the National Health Insurance of Ghana is going to spend more than the cost of this whole 300,000 on ICT alone.
Some George,
so it cannot be a bad thing.
The public universities as envisaged in this promise, universities, your technical universities, your nursing and midwifery training colleges, your colleges of education. Are they not?
So we'll get to all of that in the conversation.
Yeah, but you have to tell us. And
we've said public universities. No, you see, Obi, like I've said to you, public universities.
Yes,
it's stated there clearly.
And the technical universities are public universities.
We know what public universities are. What? A university, the traditional public universities.
Sure.
And then the polytechnics.
Yeah, which are now technical.
Under the NDC.
Yes.
To technical universities.
Yes.
Those are public universities.
In the technical universities, Eka promise way,
they're part of public universities.
No, Unim said the MME Busa Sahane said there is some level of confusion in the communication.
No, there's no confusion.
No.
Mind of the MP.
No.
And you are not part of the MPP, so don't have confusion in your mind.
I'm not paying.
We are MPP.
I listened to the National Youth Organizer of the NDC on Joy Super Morning Show, making the point that technical universities are not part of this promise now. They are not.
I'm saying
and
that
are you
I'm
sure they are
you
part?
That all public universities have been factored. If you look at the 300,000,
yes,
the 300,000 number we give, you spoke to EduWatch. When you spoke to EduWatch, they gave you a similar number.
Based for public university, almost say 125,000 in the 2022-2023 academic year.
If you look at all, including technical universities, 300,000, and that's what I used to do my mathematics to get 600 million, which is $37.5 million, which is less than the NHIA's ICT budget for 1 year. So I'm saying to you that even if we included all of them, it is not something that is beyond the government of Ghana.
What happens to them after the first year? What happens to
I explained that now. Because in fact,
you see again, student loan here you can once. Okay. First, you need a guarantor. You need.
guarantor free.
Guarantor free.
So everybody can easily access it.
You see, so give credit to where credit is due. You see, you get time
on credit.
You want a guarantor the free ho.
Who percent? You see, Obi. I have sat on this platform.
Yeah, you've credited
President Kufuor for the mutual.
Sure.
Who the Miss MPP near me who say with the
Oh, how?
I'm telling you, me MPP me I don't know at Dahua. When Professor Mills was going to commission N1.
Yes.
And then President Kufuor because we credit President Kufuor. Say President Kufuor na compare Millennium Challenge. In fact, at the point in time, Pakwesi Ndum see any President Kufuor a year or no. But we as NDC, we knew that Pakwesi Ndum was a minister for President Kufuor. When we were going to commission Bui, what did we do again? We get to suffer President Kufuor because the name said, "Oh no, call China." When President Kufuor was going to commission in Pakadan, who took the loan for Pakadan? 378 million. Was it not John Mahama approved in Parliament in October 2016? Or to Freno? JICA. President Mahama is the sole person who traveled to Japan and got Japan to resume. Japan had suspended bilateral aid to Ghana for over 10 years. People forget, before President Mahama came into politics, now already was JICA. And at that time, Shinzo Abe, who was Prime Minister, was also working in JICA. So they had known each other from JICA. So President Mahama personally traveled to Japan and got JICA to approve the facility for thermal interchange. When they were going to commission it, did they call President Mahama? Did they even give him credit? President Akufo-Addo stands and says that President Mahama cannot take credit for thermal interchange, cannot take credit for thermal Pakadan. That's what I'm saying. I am proud to me NDC.
Honesty in the system is too much. At the end of the day,
health insurance now will oversee pharmacy
in its current form.
I support the free SHS in an enhanced form that makes sure say your manual and your traffic light system. I support free. I would enhance. I would support free SHS.
Our expanded school.
National health insurance.
Our expanded education in terms of infrastructure and education than Akufo-Addo and Bawumia's government.
Okay.
In the Fourth Republic.
Okay, very well.
I'm proud to be an NDC because me can no cry. I said now I can no cry.
How?
But secondly, you are asking me to Chief. We'll see. I didn't give credit. Today, you're talking e-pharmacy.
Yes.
You're talking all the things you are doing. Would that have been possible on a mutual health insurance scheme? Yes or no?
You see,
yes or no? Would it have been possible on a mutual health insurance scheme? You would not have been able to network different hospitals because the district systems were not communicating.
Yes.
It is only possible. What you claim as a credit to you, which I won't take away from you, is only possible because you have a national health insurance scheme that was done by Professor Mills and John Mahama. You have sat here today and you have not given a single credit to them, but you want me to give you credit.